Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another book recommendation video with a little bit of a twist. This one is so exciting because I'm not doing like a specific trope like my normal content is, but I'm doing if you like this book, then you'll love this book. So basically I compiled a bunch of books in groups of 2 and 3 that remind me of each other. They have similar characters, similar plot lines, similar twists, and they remind me of each other because I know sometimes after I finish a really good book, I'm like, I need to read another one that's just like it because I need to stay on this streak of being really good. I had a list of over 30 books paired that remind me of each other, so I'm going to do a part 1 and a part 2 of this video. So this is the part 1, and if you guys enjoy it, I will definitely be doing a part 2. So without further ado, let's get into this book recommendation. Starting off with recommending my most recent read, which was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I filmed a reading vlog for this video. So emotional, but so good. And as I was reading this, I couldn't help but notice the similarities that this book had to A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole, which is my favorite book of all time. But these books reminded me so much of each other. I know that this book is super popular and I've been trying to popularize this book recently. So many of you have been DMing me about reading it. These books do have a lot of differences. This one is the story of Greek mythology while this is just 2 normal high school kids, but it's both friends to lovers that will make you bawl your eyes out. The ending of these books reminded me a lot of each other in different ways. The Song of Achilles is literally the Greek mythology version of A Thousand Boy Kisses, so if you loved either of these books, you'll love the other. So yeah, that's my first recommendation of books that go together. Next, I have another one of my favorites, which is November 9 by Colleen Hoover, and it really reminded me of the book Playing with Fire by LJ Shen. I read this one also recently. As I was reading this, I kept comparing it to November 9. I was telling my friends that love November 9, I was like, you need to read this, it reminds me so much of it. They both deal with the aspect of the main girl in each of these books has been in a tragic fire and has left her body covered in scars. Both of these girls actually wanted to become actresses prior to their accidents, so they have so much in common. I know that these 2 girls in these books would be besties. They have like no self-confidence. They can no longer do the career of their dreams, or so they think, and they meet these boys and they have these romances. This book follows a timeline of they meet every year, once a year, until obviously you have to read to find out. And this book, they go to the same university, so they're seeing each other all the time, but they have very similar plot lines, themes, and characters. Then going off of Playing with Fire, if you decide to read this or if you've already read it, this book reminded me a lot of Beautiful Disaster by Jamie Maguire. I know this used to be a really popular book, so maybe if you've read this one, you want to check out this one. But both of these books deal with a boy who is like an underground, what do they call it? Like an underground street fighter. The boys in these 2 books reminded me so much of each other in the way that they're both very protective of the girl. It's kind of friends to lovers, both of these stories. Both of these boys are fighters. They have like these underground rings at their universities. There were so many similarities. I literally even pictured the same setting in my head because they're described so similarly, and like the girl shows up to the fight and then there's drama and all that. Both of these books have that kind of idea, which I really enjoyed. Next, I'm going to be talking about Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas, which I know is a lot of people's favorite read. I read this one a few years back, really enjoyed it. And recently I read Dirty Letters by Vi Keeland and Penelope Ward, and these books are so similar too. Okay, so both of these books are childhood friends to lovers, except they're not friends in real life. They're both pen pals. Both of these books have a boy and a girl who've been pen pals since they were kids, write to each other about everything. They tell each other everything through these letters, but they agree to never meet in person. In both of these books, one of the characters accidentally finds out who the other one is, and the other one doesn't know, and it's kind of like that kind of drama. Both of them have a lot of twists, a lot of secrets. This one has a lot more plot twists than this one. This one's more of like a cute romance. In this trope, one of them is famous. In this trope, they hate each other when they meet each other, and they kind of goes from friends to enemies to lovers. So both of these books remind me a lot of each other in the aspect that they are the pen pals, friends but agree not to meet each other in real life, and then they do meet each other and then drama happens. Going off of Dirty Letters, a book that reminded me of this, if you decide to read it, was Top Secret by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. And these remind me of each other because again, they have the aspect of talking online but not in person. This book though, I'm going to talk about Top Secret because I already talked about the other one. This book is very interesting because it's 2 boys. They're talking online. One of them is straight, but they end up having like this flirtatious relationship. Don't know who each other are in real life. They're under fake names on this dating website. Come to find out, you're in both perspectives, and the reader knows that both of these boys live in the same house. They're neighbors in a frat house, and they hate each other in real life, but they're flirting online. One of them is straight and has a girlfriend. So much drama, but so fun. I loved this read. It's super short too, so I recommend that. Next, I have Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, and this book reminded me so much of Find You in the Dark by A. Meredith Walters. There's not that many similar themes besides I can't really explain anything because this book has such a big plot twist that kind of reminded me of this book. This book deals a lot with mental health. It's a new boy coming to school who suffers from a lot of mental health issues and a girl in his first like epic love. The way this book ended for some reason kind of reminded me of this book. This book is about a girl who she's kind of lived off the grid. She doesn't have a phone. Her mom doesn't let her use any technology. She lives at home. She meets this boy, and this boy, like, he feels like he knows her, but he doesn't know why, and they have like this weird connection. And oh my god, the plot twist in this book was I not expecting. But these books don't have that many similar plot lines, but they did remind me of each other, and I know if you liked Hopeless, you'll like Find You in the Dark, or vice versa. Next book I'm going to talk about might be controversial, just hear me out. So I have After by Anna Todd, and I know how a lot of people feel about this book. It's kind of love triangle-y, bad boy, good girl, Wattpad-esque, huge plot twist, pretty a toxic relationship. But this book reminded me so much of another book I read recently, which was Serenading Heartbreak by Ella Fields, because this book is a love triangle book. Brother's best friend trope involved, plus a new love, crazy drama. That's what reminded me of After. There's so much drama. One of the boys in this book reminds me of Hardin from After, just because of like the back and forth, the fighting. The problems that they face in these books were very similar. I just know that if you liked After, you will like Serenading Heartbreak, so that's this recommendation. Next recommendation is one of my favorite books of all time, which is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and this book is enemies to lovers workplace romance, but it reminds me so much of The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I know both of these books are popular, so you might have read both of them, or if you've read one, read the other because I know you'll love it. These have the same kind of banter, enemies to lovers. Both of these books made me laugh out loud. I enjoyed both of these books. They're so similar in characters. It's kind of serious guy, sunshine girl, both of them. They just had similar energy, similar characters. Very like funny banter, but enemies to lovers. And I loved them both. The last two books I'm going to be talking about in this video are Bully by Penelope Douglas and Room Hate by Penelope Ward. These are both childhood friends to enemies to lovers, which I really like when they're childhood friends and then something happens, they hate each other, and then something happens and they love each other, and that's both of these books. These books are similar in the way that they were childhood best friends. One of them goes away for a little while, and when they come back, they hate each other. And the other one is like, why do you hate me all of a sudden? And they become enemies. That happens in both of these books. I know Bully by Penelope Douglas is a whole series, but the first book reminds me of Room Hate. Room Hate also has the close proximity trope because they both inherit a house and are forced to live together. So much angst in both of these. So yeah, these books are very, very similar in my opinion. Okay, those are all of the books I'm going to be recommending today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got new books to read. If you read any of these, comment down below your opinions on them, but don't spoil anything. And if you'd like to see a part 2 of this video, because I have so many more books that remind me of each other, I really like the concept of this video, so I'm very excited to do it again if you would like to see that. Yeah, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on my other social medias, linked down below as always, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Bye!